What's going on, everybody? SWE2Z here. The sun is shining on my face right now. I don't have any blinders right here. I'm looking crazy, but that's okay. Haven't done a live track breakdown in a while, and I figured since it's the release day of Uproot, my return back to music making and all that, I figure I might as well get on here a little bit and just talk a little bit about Uproot. If you catch this on the replay or you're gonna catch this later on, I appreciate everyone that stops by and actually just listens to the song and let me know what you think. You know, it means a lot, and yeah, it feels good to be back. Feels good to be like doing the thing again, you know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like I kind of want to make no, I'll do that another time. But anyway, yes, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Uproot. I'm gonna go over to my DAW now. So basically the story, or kind of the origins of Uproot. This has been a song that's been in the down the pipeline, coming down the pipeline, so to speak, and has been in the works for years, you know, at this point. I think it was back like after the Clean Boy EP. I feel like this is probably like 2019 is where I was like, where I originally kind of came up with this idea, whatever. I think the kind of the real sort of story of where I kind of came up with, I guess, the idea, the concept. I was working as a shipping clerk at a place here in the city, and a lot of the times I would just kind of doze off because it was just so boring, and I would just, and I wouldn't even necessarily say doze off, but I would just kind of zone out and just think of like music and lyrics and stuff that I could do in the meantime. And I know at that time I was just I guess at that time I wasn't really satisfied being there, obviously, 'cause I didn't stay there very long, and really just like in general I just didn't really, we just kind of wanted a change in scenery, like a change of pace, and just kind of wanted to do something like different, and just like have a different sort of scenery just in general, you know what I mean? But and one of the things that I was thinking of whenever I was, you know, writing it was this idea of uproot, you know what I mean? Because in the song it's like kind of this, for the most part, I mean, it's hard to say it's really lyrics, but it is the mantra that kind of repeats over and over and over again. And I think that at one time there was more lyrics to come, but just after a while, kind of forgetting about Uproot and then coming back to it, you know, as the years went on past 2019, I think I'd revisit it every now and then and think like, you say you want to uproot, and be like, okay, this is good. Because I think it was like, that was just like a snippet. That was just like a snippet of the other lyrics that I wanted to put in, but I never got around to recording them. So I eventually just stuck with the uproot mantra. And so yeah, basically it was just that was the kind of place and time and headspace that I was at when making it, at least the lyrics aspect of it. And then, you know, it was just really catchy to me. And then later on, I think the music kind of came around. I think specifically, I'll kind of go and show you. what part. As usual, what's going on, Jason Black, my brother? What's going on? It has been long. Hail, hail to you, my friend. Um, what I was saying was, let me find the part. This was one of the original like holdovers that kind of survived, because it, like, how my process kind of goes is where, you know, you start off with nothing and you eventually just build and build and build. You throw in some concepts, some loops, some synths, and you just kind of just see what kind of lasts and kind of see how a song evolves. And this is one of the samples or the synths that kind of lasted. I forget what synth it was. I've had a whole situation going on with my VSTs throughout the years where I've had to kind of transfer over the files for certain VSTs, and some didn't get transferred over, and some are old and outdated, so you can't really, like, you know, register like the activation like code or whatever for it. So getting a lot of these getting to this state where I have all these files was a process. I'll show you. Hold on, I'll show you. Oop. Me? Hello? Okay, we're back on. That wasn't supposed to happen. Let me see here. I wanted to show you, because this is it was a labor of love to get these files back at a certain point. Okay. I might just sit back a little bit, actually, because the sun is just not beaming in my face this way. But this was my main producing laptop for a while. And just, I don't know what happened. I was still good, actually. I don't know what happened. Oh, we're dropping frames. We'll just have to push on. I don't know what happened, but it just started like getting really, really slow out of nowhere, and then eventually I stopped using it. But there's so many of like unreleased, untapped potential of songs on this laptop that I had to like painstakingly go through and render the samples off of this onto my hard drives, and then kind of put them back on onto my main setup right now, which took, it wasn't, the process itself doesn't take long. It didn't take long at all, but it was just, it was literally just because the laptop was so like busted and just slow that it's like it just kind of took that long, you know. But that's that laptop. But anyway, I want to see if I could try to, no, it's at 30 fps. Give me 1 second here. Let me know if you're watching. How's, I know the quality probably is not the best right now, but let me know for sure. Oh, here it is. It's just slow that it's like it just kind of took that long, you know. Okay, it looks like we're okay. Shiny, yeah, it's pretty. It's actually pretty hefty, actually. Um, but yes, that was my baby for a great many years. But it's, I haven't got rid of it yet, because I'm sure there's some other things in there that, you know, other music projects that I want to dig up at some point. But I mean, we'll kind of see. But anyway, so yeah, that was kind of the initial sort of creation of Uproot, and it wasn't up until recently that I kind of cobbled it all together. All right, cool. That I recently like cobbled it all together in order to make it into a fully fledged song, because it was really just like ideas, and that's kind of like the, I guess, the difficult part or the time consuming part of, you know, making songs, is that like you can have a good idea, but taking a good idea and turning it into a fully fledged song is like, that's where the art, you know, kind of really like comes in, you know, the sort of craftsmanship with it. So, but yeah, I guess we can go ahead and kind of take a listen here. I'm gonna play the mastered version, but I might swap in and out to highlight specific parts as I go along. So let's see here. We're gonna play it from the top. Uproot. Go. I really just like that that little go. It's just an ad lib. It's one of my many ad libs that I prefer for certain songs, and it's hard to describe, but like I could have added some reverb onto it or whatever. I could have done a lot of things with it, but I like how like you have the beginning intro, it's just really kind of spacey and airy out, and then like you're hit with it, and it's just like this go, and it's just like it sharpens up, you know what I mean? Like it makes like a solid like impact. Go. Like, and it just drops you into the beat after that point, you know what I mean? Go. That was like another original holdover from its initial creation, I think, at that time, and something that I'm actually like trying to kind of redo a little bit more is taking like the concepts like of a bass line or a melody or something and just kind of mouthing it. I feel that it's I don't know. So a lot of the times it just feels right, man. You know, I'm working on another song currently right now where it's a little difficult because of how it's pitched, but also just trying to just being able to mouth it like blah 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 is really probably what I might have to do in order to actually get it right. But yeah, there's another one of the holdover things, and I don't know, it just sounds good. It just really feels really raw, and I don't know, I like it. I really like it. Let me do this little thingy right here so we don't get these little skippy skips. Rubbery B, yeah, that's what I go. I like that comment, Jason. Rubbery. I can't. I just instinctively and intuitively know what you're talking about when you say rubbery. I never thought of it in that way though. I like it.
You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna. You say you wanna uproot.
So I'm gonna stop it there. Obviously this is like the main sort of like mantra lyric. You say you want to uproot, that repeats like throughout most of the song. I kind of wagered back and forth, like, is it too repetitive? Like, I mean, I guess it's up to interpretation, right? But like, is it too repetitive? Should I put some more lyrics? But I know that whenever I ported everything over from the old laptop into the new one, like, I don't know, I think I've kind of gotten to a point in the music making where I just don't like. I'm focusing less on lyrics, and I know some people might hear that and say like might have it feel a certain way about it, but I don't, to me it's just like I don't really necessarily have anything to prove with my lyricism. I feel like I did that very very heavily in while I'm asleep. I did that extremely heavily for a majority of the songs. Like I wanted to write something serious and write something deep and kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Something that's more I would say like it's like a mystery. It's almost, it's like I have the word but I forget it. But it's like more labyrinthine or something like that. You know, there's meaning behind. There's like double meanings and stuff like that, and a whole bunch of stuff. But you know, obviously, I was in a place in my life at that point where I was doing that. But maybe just need some enhancement. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think, and I kind of like was kind of like in between with it, but I honestly just kind of felt like it sounded good to me. Maybe it's like I just like the sound of my own voice a little too much. Maybe that's it, but I don't know. To me, it kind of it was okay, and I think kind of going into that a little bit more is just where, yeah, I'm just like I'm at a point where I just want to focus like on fun music and not think about it too much, and you know, not to say that I'll never make songs again that are void of meanings or deeper meanings or, you know, deeper lyricism, but I don't know, I just kind of wanted to, I kind of just wanted to keep it simple, you know what I mean, and kind of, you know, go back a little bit, because at the time that when I recorded these lyrics, whatever these lines, was back like in 2019 ish, so it's like kind of going back to my roots, you know, almost, you know.
You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna. You say you wanna.
And I was so excited to be able to say shishigata again in a song, which I really did miss. I didn't realize how much I did miss it. And now I'm at a point with all the songs that I'm making right now, like I'm just finding any sort of excuse to say shishigata, or even go the full route and say shishigata date. Which anyone like, if you're an OG long time listener, you'll know like the significance and the origins of shishigata or shishigata date. But it is just you saying it needs some oomph if it's going to carry the track. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I could see that for sure. And like I said, I was kind of like 50-50, but ultimately, I think another thing kind of too is where I feel like if I wait too long on a track, I feel like I'll never get it out, and it'll forever be like in this perpetual state of just limbo. And I think that was another thing too, where I just kind of wanted to put out a song that was more in line of where I want to go now, like what I want the style to be, you know, for the foreseeable future. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that being a criticism, a valid criticism for sure. But you know, that's kind of the thing, you know, kind of getting back into it and getting my creative process a lot better now, to where I can, you know, provide like that more, you know, sort of oomph and like lines and lyrics to carry the track. I'm working on one right now that is like, is pushing me lyrically, like to get to like not in a deeper sense, but in a technical sense, like of the lyrics and rapping and stuff like that. And I'm excited for that to come out eventually. So
You say you wanna uproot. 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 You say you wanna uproot.
now I think another thing to that point, that kind of made the repetition of you say you want to uproot, what made it okay to keep it like repeating in that way, because a lot of the instrumentation, like the bass and the beat stays the same, but the bass and especially the rhythm guitar, that starts in this I think second verse, right? I feel like I added like I wanted the variety to be on the instrumentation in, like, you know, because switch ups have always been like a really like crucial thing for me. So if I was gonna be so repetitive on the uproot line, then at the very least, like, I have to make sure that the track beneath it is like is moving, it's progressing, and the variety is there. And maybe I'll end up putting out like an instrumental version of it. But yeah, that's kind of what my process was for it. And the little soulful like lyrics, wherever I go, that was also recorded back when I recorded the uproot lines. All these lines are old, like they're very old, and I don't know if you can hear it comparatively to how my voice is now. Maybe not, but I don't know. I tried going in and re-recording. Here, I'll show you.
You say you wanna uproot.
No, that's not it. I want to see it. Wherever I go. Those are original lines that I recorded back then, and I tried re-recording them. Honestly, I tried. Like, I took a whole day out to re-record them, but eventually, and I had some good takes, but eventually I just decided that I like these ones more, just because, like, I don't know, it was just like it had like a lot of soul, and I feel like I wasn't able to recreate that in the way that was comparable to that now. So I was just like, you know, it's good, it sounds good to me, like it goes well with the vibe of everything. Why mess with a good thing? You know, keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean? But yeah, I love the soul of this part. And then we go into the bridge. So yeah, I'm like it was nice to go back and like hear that, because that soul sound, that soul vibe, that's something that I'm having to I'm noticing with a lot of the new tracks that I'm making. I'm having to like reach back into my bag, so to speak, and pull that out. so to be able to hear that, just a lot of retrospection, a lot of looking back on the past, and kind of, you know, after doing while I'm asleep, and, you know, starting but not finishing A Mountain Man Weeps, to go back to this like sound, and, you know, it's been a journey of rediscovery, and it's been really fun, you know, to kind of see that. I love this guitar part, by the way. Like, rhythm guitars are just like, it's just a necessary thing for me at this point that I just never want to let go. And kind of going back to what I was saying before about looking back and going to my beginnings and my origins, like that was there from the beginning, and like the origins type thing. So it's like, yeah, it's another thing that, you know, I've fallen back in love with. You know what I mean? You're better than yourself as you're competing with the. And that's true. That is true. That is true. I have been called a genius many a times. This is true. I appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging out with me, Jason. Appreciate it. It means a lot to me, buddy. Thank you. But yeah, I hope you've been good, man. For sure. I'd like to know how life's going for you. But yeah, when I think what really kind of solidified the, like, okay, the moment where I was like, this is an actual song now, was when the rhythm guitar got introduced, and we kind of upped the ante, so to speak, in the verse 3, and when it went into the bridge. It's when it explodes. Yeah, you'll have to tell me if you remember, but yeah, I think one of the things too is when I was listening to this riff, the rhythm guitar, was that it reminded me of Gone, and just like how, just like, despite its flaws and it's like, you know, mediocre mixing, which, I mean, it was my first song, so, you know, you live and learn, right? But yeah, just like the don't boom. Yeah, just rhythm guitar, man. It can't be beaten, dude. It's so crucial, you know. It's Bowie, okay. Good. That made me think of well, I'm sorry you're sick, but I'm sorry you're sick, Jason, but I hope you do get well. I'm sorry you had the sweats. I have the sweats all the time, profusely. It made me think, you saying that made me think of Germophobia from the Clean Boy EP, which, I mean, I'm not really necessarily putting the pressure on myself for it, but if there is a collection of like an EP or an album, it definitely will be the Clean Boy EP2. The Clean Boy EP2 for you, acronym CB EP2 for you. And I've had that idea for years at this point. and I think it's fairly fitting, seeing as though like how kind of instrumental Clean Boy and the works on the Clean Boy EP were to, like, I guess kind of a lot of the in jokes and a lot of the stuff, kind of, I guess, the antics that I do, whatever, that kind of gained some notoriety to a lot of, I guess, my fans, quote unquote, if you want to call it that. It stemmed from the Clean Boy EP. So it's like, yeah, just going back and revisiting a lot of stuff and rediscovering, you know, what was, you know. It's Bowie, Oxford Town. Okay, I'm gonna listen to that. I'm listening to that after the stream. Another actual like mix note. What's going on, TJ? Can I finish? You can finish, my friend. Hey, baby. What's going on, man? How you doing? But what I was gonna say, a note about the hi Spark. Hi Spark. Hi. Oh, he's in a new environment. What I was gonna say about the one mix note, the technical aspect of the sub bass that I have in this part, was I was struggling for the longest time to kind of EQ it in a way where you get the sub, but you get like the high end of the sub. I want to try to solo it out so you can kind of hear it. And I don't know if it would be an accurate representation of how it appears in the song as well. As you can kind of see here, kind of the EQ that I got going on. I have like I got the low shelf here and then the high shelf over here, because like there's a bass there that just gels with the beat, but like the high right here, if you can see where I'm hovering my mouse over there, that aspect of it too was something that I wanted to come out in the mix as well. So it was kind of a catch-22. Hi, Spike. Hi, Spike. Oh, he's not even looking at me. But yeah, so that was a tricky thing, and I think I got it decent enough. And in a perfect world, you don't want to try to force a sub bass to be a sub bass and like to keep the high end of it in a perfect sort of mix. So thank you. But anyway, but yeah, so yeah, that was an interesting little kind of thing that I was working with for that sub bass. So let's go back to the whole song here. This is another thing that I think I'm incorporating as like one of my, I guess, sort of ad-libs, or I don't know what you would call it, like how Shishigada or Shishigada Date, where I'm just going like, it's kind of just like a hype line, a hype track or something like that. Here, I'm gonna highlight it here. I hope you've been good, TJ. What's going on, brother? I don't know. Sometimes when I'm in the booth and then like I just get hyped up, like I'll record something like this. I think it's just a good, accurate representation of the how things are going as I'm recording. That's a fun little thingy right there. And ultimately, I just love how the kick, the sub, and like how it just kind of glues together, you know. Another little detail here that I was really proud of myself. I needed a drum fill. I needed a drum fill to kind of get in between like the verse and the bridge and like just really any sort of part. But I wasn't able to find any samples that I was happy with that would make that up. So what I was just like, well, I'm here in the booth. I might as well just do it myself. I might as well just do the boom 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 noise or the drum fill. I'm trying to find it and solo it out. ¿Qué pasó? That's fine. I don't even use it. Yeah, it's the oldie but the goodie. But let me see here. I'm trying to find it. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's not it. Okay, vocal bus, ad libs. Oh, the drum bus is down here. Okay. I worked really hard on this, so I just want to show it. Wait, I almost had it. Yeah. And there's nothing really much to it, but I just really liked it. I just was really proud of myself, and I got what I wanted. I just had to do it myself. That boom, 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 and I just had to make it sound a little bit more percussive. So I think I just added a saturator onto it. Maybe some distortion. I can't really remember. Oh wait, I could see right here. Yeah, some distortion and some saturator. And just getting it lined up so that it works with the groove. That was a key detail there. Let's go over to the main song here. The piano was a later addition. Quality drum samples, yes, the drums have to be there. I'm very particular about my drums, because really the consistency, the make or the timbre is what, you know, of the drum really can kind of impact what sounds good in a song. You know what I mean? But I am very particular about my kick drums for sure. But I like the piano here, because I feel like it just drives home. It kind of reinforces the little sample that I have under here. I think that was kind of an issue that I was like wanting to do. What dollar am I using? I'm using Ableton 10. But I'm like two versions behind. I might upgrade, but I'd have to, I don't know. The offering would have to be substantial in order for me to upgrade to like 12. But what was I saying before? I want to highlight the one sample. The cowbell sample as well, kind of, I wouldn't say saved the rhythm, but it was the rhythm that came before the guitar, and it just kind of adds on to things. And it naturally, I forget what VST I got it from, but it just kind of has that ping pong, like in the left ear, right ear, you know, kind of phasing going on. And just when you compare it with the kick and everything, it's just so, you know what I mean? And then we add in the snap here. So you see what I mean? So you see what I mean? Like, this is the whole thing about, you know, making, you know, creating a song. You know, it just starts at like as one piece, and then it just kind of blooms into another thing. Now it kind of takes some time, more or less sometimes, but you know, I think that's why I never let Uproot go, is because I knew that it had such potential. With the beat and like everything with it was just like right. So that's why like I was so I never let it go as the years went on. Oh, what the other thing I was gonna show was the one sample. I wonder if I can. There you go. Hi, Spike. Hi, Spike. You want to say hi, Spike? Okay. Maybe later. So yeah, I needed something to kind of reinforce that groove there. Bump, 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 bump. Because it was also in a weird. It was also in a weird like place, frequency wise. I know I didn't want the lower end of it, because the lower end was already taken care of, but I knew I wanted to keep it, so I think that's where the piano kind of came in clutch to kind of reinforce it and add a little bit more punch that came and went, so to speak, with, you know, as it progressed. And you'll be able to hear it now. I'll go back to the original.
You say you wanna uproot.
Oh, let me not blow out your eardrums right now. I'm sorry. Let me not do that. Okay.
You say you wanna uproot. 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 You say you wanna uproot.
A couple points I want to make there, but yeah, I do more sample based, where I go and find samples that I like and I just put them together. Sometimes I'll bust out the VSTs and open up the MIDI keyboard. More often than not, though, if I'm being honest, I just use my keyboard. But it is very useful. I'll show you the MIDI keyboard that I have. Give me 1 second. Okay. So here is the MPK Mini, and I'll take it out. Hi, Spike. It's the MPK Mini. I haven't used it in a while. Total transparency, but it is very useful. You got the mini buttons up here. You got the keyboard down here. You got your little, I forget the slide, like the pitch shifter, I'd say what it is. And a couple other buttons there. Very useful. I think only one of the keys, though, is broken. I think it's this one or this one. I'm not 100% sure. But it is very useful. I feel like if I had more space, like if I had a bigger desk, I probably would keep it out. But you know, you make do with what you got, right? But yes, that is what I do these days. But going back to kind of this part of the song, Okay, one other thing that I know that I've been really liking for some reason. I can't quite describe why, but I've been really enjoying putting like applause, audience applause and stuff like that in like the background of the songs. I feel like it just, I guess it's twofold. It's like one, it actually like it I feel like it kind of it makes the song feel a little bit more full because we're covering more of the frequencies, the frequency spectrum. We got our low end, we got our mids, and then we got our highs, right? um so there's that reason, but then there's also just like for some reason like it kind of for me as I'm making it, it kind of like psychs me out as if I was thinking, okay, like what if this song was playing for a crowd or in a club or something like that, like, and you hear like the applause and stuff like that, like is what's going on in the song, is it worthy? uh you click this whole shit. What do you mean, TJ? um but yeah, so that's just something that I've been like doing with a lot of my songs, and I don't know, I don't I don't know, I kind of feel a certain way by putting it in every single song, but I feel like if it doesn't detract from it, then what's the problem? So that's something that I've been like working with and dealing with a lot of the newer, stuff that I'm working on, right now. I clicked this whole shit. Oh, I clicked it. No, a lot of this stuff, a lot of the samples and stuff was from when I first like initially created the beginnings of this song in 2019. So technically, no, there was only a few things that I clicked. Like I'm pretty sure the piano I clicked because it was just one note and it's like da 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 da. But for the most part, I think that was about it. I didn't really. So that's the thing. If I need like a specific MIDI, I feel like a lot of the, you made this track with your mouse. I guess maybe you could say that a little bit, question mark, kind of sort of 50-50. Because I know back in the day when I was working on that laptop, um I know I was using the MIDI a lot more. But it kind of depends. It depends on like how complex or complicated of a sound or a sequence that I want. And so like if I needed an A note on a particular synth, but I wanted to pitch shift it like a slide, like kind of, or down, like I would use the pitch shifter that's on the MIDI keyboard, and you can't do that on a regular keyboard unless, I mean, not manually. Maybe you could go in and automate it, but that's what I would use the MIDI keyboard for these days. But since, like, again, I'm dealing with like a limited space here on this desk, it kind of, for the most part, it just kind of makes sense to use the keyboard unless I need something specific like that pitch shifter that's on the keyboard. But yeah, it kind of depends. It kind of depends, honestly. But a lot of the samples that I'm working with that I pull from, yeah, I mean, I guess technically it's just like a drag and drop, like, bring over with the mouse and put it into Ableton. So that's why I say it's like a 50-50 almost.
You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot. Episodic, supersonic. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot. Episodic, super.
And I took quite a while to kind of get those samples of the episodic, supersonic. It did take a while to kind of get it synced up in a way that sounded good.
Episodic, supersonic.
And then we go back into it again.
Episodic, super.
So yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. Well, I guess fun. I guess you could say after a while it was kind of annoying because I wanted to do something, but it was kind of hard to kind of like chop it up and whatnot. All that matters is if it's fire. That's true. That's very true. You're not lying about that, my friend. But let me see here. What other parts? Oh, I'm gonna do my thing and run. See, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of stuff that got cut, like a lot of lyrics that got cut. Because I was really just more so just doing things for the vibe sake, and I think that's what I was explaining to Jason earlier was that I'm in a like kind of I with my last album and like with the one with Mountain Man Weeps that I was working on before, like I guess I was really more so I guess I had something to like prove to myself that I could write like deep lyrics and stuff like that, and I feel like I did that like in spades, honestly. That took a lot out of me, and I'm just like now I'm like in a phase where it's like I'm not really, it's more about the music necessarily, and like whatever words come out afterward is besides the point, and if it goes with the vibe, then so be it. Like even if it doesn't make any sense, me saying you say you want to uproot, you say you want to uproot. Yeah, I guess technically I had an idea originally when I first made this, like first wrote it years ago, but now it doesn't really necessarily need to have a meaning to it. It's just for the vibe's sake, you know what I mean? So you know, I don't know how I got into that tangent. I don't know how I got into that tangent, but yeah, you know, that's what I'm doing now. You know, that's where I like. That's where I'm comfortable. I'm happy where I'm at with how things are going. You know what I mean? I also love this part as well. It's just it adds to that bouncy. It adds to that rubbery like sort of sound. This is another original part from the like original file. And I feel like again, just like being able to solo things out and kind of put them outside like take a more of a micro sort of look at this, like each section of the song. It just kind of, it kind of really just goes to show that it's just like kind of what makes a song and not just a bunch of musical ideas. But what does it all mean? That's a question. That's the mystery of life, man. What does it all mean? It if you're an existentialist, you might say that it means whatever you want it to mean. If you're a nihilist, hey Spike, come over there, buddy. I don't want you to plug anything. Hi, Paul. Hi, Papash. Or if you're a nihilist, it means nothing. It really depends on how you see it, Jason. That's for you to decide. That's a beautiful thing about life. You get to choose things. Yeah, it's just really fun to solo things out and just kind of hear them. I'm sorry, by the way, that like a lot of the audio is choppy. I think it's because like there's so many audio tracks in this that it's like the Ableton isn't able to keep up, and like it's like shitting the bed like for a split second. And I have to make this note as well, because it's just like I don't know what headspace I was in when I was writing this specific part. I was just going more so like on the vibe, for the vibe's sake. But when I say I'm gonna do my thing and run, I'm trying to look and find if I have the whole thing in there. Uh, 14. Let's see. Okay, just straight off the bat, like I was doing this, I was recording. I'm gonna do my thing and run. I'm gonna do my thing and run. And then the next thing that I said, don't know why the fuck I said it. I said you said you were Satan's son, like you were Satan's son. Like I don't know, I don't know why I said that. I just thought it was just funny, and I thought about keeping it in there, but I was like, okay, you know, I don't know. I know I'm just saying a bunch of random shit just for vibe's sake, but I don't know. I don't want any bad voodoo. I don't want any bad voodoo around here. I'm just, yeah, I'm just doing my thing and run. You know what I mean? Here, I'm gonna play it though. Let me solo it out.
I'ma do my thing and run. 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 Said you were Satan's son. I'ma do my thing.
One more time.
I'ma do my thing and run. I'ma do my thing and run. I'ma do my thing and run.
Damn, is it shitting the bed right now? Hold on. Oh, it stops.
I'ma do my thing and run. 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 Said you were Satan's son.
That will never see the official release though. I know it's very sad. You know, we'll never find out why or who is Satan's son, but you know that will just be lost in the history of Uproot. And that's kind of the fun things, you know, whenever you're just like creating something, it's just like sometimes it just doesn't really, you don't need to, who gives a fuck, you know what I mean? Just go with it, you know. But yeah, let's see here if I have anything else to say. Hell yeah, thank you, Jason.
You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot. You say you wanna uproot.
There you go. There you go. That is Uproot for you, you know. I think in the future, whenever I have like, I'll have a bit more to talk about, like whenever I actually, whenever I actually write something like like I guess of substance, quote unquote. Like again with the one song that I'm working on right now, it's like I had this part where it's like I'm like doing like a double time, like a double like a double tempo in the rap for it, and it's like it's gonna take a whole day probably to record, but that's okay. But I'll be able to break that down next time when that song comes out, and kind of give you like, you know, the kind of rundown of everything, you know. And that's the other thing too, is that like I feel like because this is very like, I would say like lyrically light, because I've had to like, because I've been away from music for quite a while, so it's like having to get back into a state of mind where I'm like writing lyrics and of varying like levels of complexity, or you know, whatever. It's like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. So it's like this you know, this song being like lyrically light, so to speak, it kind of gave me that opportunity to warm up that muscle, and I think I'm just slowly like warming up the muscle like more now. So that's going to be interesting to kind of, you know, get back to, so to speak. But if you guys have any other questions, let me know, because I think that about covers it. I think that's all I pretty much wanted to say about Uproot. I'm glad I finally put this out. It's been a lot of years in the making, and you know, yeah, just to have another one in the books. I do want to work on a music video, and I want to go back to what I was doing before, where I was pulling out full music videos for all the songs, and just really kind of taking my time with it. I'm definitely in a position now where I just like, I'm not worried about like the algorithms and shit like that. I'm just really just kind of taking things I like at my own pace and just really just putting quality first and what interests me, and like just having something to go back at and look at and think of fondly. Because I mean, I look back at all my music videos and I look at them fondly, and it's just like, damn, I want more. Like I want more music videos to go back and look at, you know. And that's something that I'm really interested in. So I would say expect a music video from this. Wouldn't say when, because you know it is going to take quite some time to kind of flesh out, but I'm excited for that. I'm excited to put this song out finally, once and for all, and I'm excited to keep moving and getting back into the swing of things, and putting out more songs and just improving. You know what I mean? Because like, just on that like note, I feel like I can make songs faster. Like I know like the technical aspects of it a lot better. I know arrangement, just like the whole progress. Like, you know, I'm going back to like my original sound, so to speak, but I'm coming back at it with like just more knowledge and just like being smarter and more technically savvy and more, and just, you know, having more, I guess, artist wisdom, you know what I mean, I guess you could say, which, you know, makes the whole process a lot easier, a lot more fun, and just having that pressure not on my shoulders to like produce content and post every single day and all that shit. Like, yeah, I'm a lot more happy with it. And like me being more happy makes me want to go out and like put the extra effort to go and do a music video, even if it's just for like, you know, for shits and giggles and just a memory, you know. I don't know not to ask good questions, but definitely listen to Bowie. It might have been Let's Dance. Nobody went wrong studying or imitating him. That's true. That is true. I'm gonna go listen to him for sure. You said Let's Dance and Oxford. Oxford, I think is what you said. Oxford Town. Okay, I'm gonna take a listen to those. I might go in the comment section of this later and let you know what I think, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. I hope you guys, if you're watching this on the replay, or you know, Jason, TJ, appreciate you guys for hanging out. Looking forward to put out more. I would like to start doing more live streams and music related and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, it just feels good to be back. It feels good to be back, taking things at my own pace. And you know, I hope you guys like the song, and I hope you guys stay tuned for more that's coming. And yeah, man, yeah, for sure. But I think that's it. Hell yeah, Jason. I think that's gonna be it for me. I know I wanted to keep this more brief, and you know, I got some protein nachos. I'm gonna enjoy with my lovely girlfriend and Spike. And yeah, things are cool, man. Things are cool. But I'll leave comments so you can reply and I'll get notified. Bet, buddy. I got you, buddy. But okay. I think that's going to do it for me, guys. Jason, TJ, everybody else, thank you so much for watching, for hanging out. If you're catching this on the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the song. Share it if you could. If you think it's worthy of sharing, I encourage you to do so. It's much appreciated. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Uproot. Hell yeah. Sweats is back. The clean boy is back and ready to kick some ass. And that's gonna do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. And I haven't done this in so long. I hold on, I gotta make a new scene actually. Full screen. You gotta do it. The people, they demand it.